Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. The topic of this 10-minute moan is the sort of outrageous but not really unexpected double standards shown yet again by the government in Scotland, the SNP. So what's happened now is, I done a video on it yesterday, I think, about Nicola Sturgeon being on STV during the election as a pundit and how much entertainment that gave me as the results came in, and she was just getting smashed to pillar to post. Right, it was delightful viewing. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I remember before the election there was a campaign to try and get her removed from the panel on ITV, and I was totally against that petition because I really wanted to see her on ITV as the results came in. When I thought that the result, a good result for me and the unionists and people who don't like the SNP, would be maybe mid-20 seats. And the exit poll came out at 10 and they achieved 9, right? So I was like, no, leave Nicola Sturgeon there, right? Have her there. If it comes out at mid-20s, that'll be fantastic. So the fact it was even worse than that, I had a delightful night watching Nicola Sturgeon squirm, but sit there and take it as she sold her soul for £25,000. Her dignity was laid bare for us all to see. You just threw it away, and we found out in the last few days that it was £25,000 was the cost and the price of her dignity. I kind of think she would have done it for less, but there you go. She got paid 25 grand. So there's a bit of stooshy about that in the papers. But some keen observers noted that previously, almost identically, Ruth Davidson, 2019 panellist at an election programme, as the results came out. And at that time, she was paid £7,500. And if you rewind the clock to 2019, there's loads of stories about the SNP slaughtering Ruth Davidson, and indeed calls for Ruth Davidson to stand down. Now, at that time, Ruth Davidson had been previously the leader of the Tories in Scotland, so the same as Nicola Sturgeon, she was an ex-leader of her party, and was indeed a backbencher MSP at the time. She went on to TV and took £7,500 to give her views on an election night on TV. So, I mean, the similarities are astounding, apart from two aspects. One, Ruth Davidson was never the First Minister, and Ruth Davidson get paid about a third of the fee that Nicola Sturgeon did 5 years later. And the SNP have completely forgot what they said about Ruth Davidson 5 years ago, right? Where there was calls for her to be sacked, stand down, all of that. How dare she? She's meant to be an MSP looking after her constituency. Now, I can't remember. We know she didn't go to her job on Wednesday because Nicola had to make a statement about it, and she wasn't going because people were saying nice things about Alex Salmond. She felt that that wasn't her place, when normal people would be thinking, shut up, Nicola, just don't go. You don't need to make a statement about it. But it was, as usual for Nicola Sturgeon, it's all about me. And it's always got to be about her. So what was said back then? Well, John Swinney has defended it. John Swinney's defended Nicola Sturgeon in the last few days and said that she should not resign as an MSP after she was paid 25 grand to appear on election night on ITV. The former First Minister raked in a massive fee for one night's work as she was offered her thoughts on the SNP's disastrous showing at the general election. But the Nationalists faced accusations of hypocrisy as one of its most senior members previously demanded Ruth Davidson quit as an MSP after she was paid £7.5 grand for a similar TV appearance in the 2019 general election. Angus Robertson, you know him at all the pies. A Scottish Government minister said at the time it was another reminder why Ruth Davidson should resign. The SNP also demanded 5 years ago that the then Tory MSP should hand back the fee that she received from the TV channel. But Swinney, he's distanced himself from the remarks. He was asked if Nicola Sturgeon should resign as an MSP, and Swinney said, no, I don't think she should. And I think the call that was made for Ruth Davidson to resign was a wrong call. I don't think we should have been calling for it. We just should have just let these things take their course, let folk register them. because they need to read. That's how we found out about Nicola Sturgeon's fee, because you have to register them within a certain time scale of receiving the money. And indeed, that's how the world knew Ruth Davidson had been paid £7,500. So, I wonder where John Swinney was in 2019 when his colleagues were calling for the head of Ruth Davidson. Did John Swinney say, "Look, guys, that's rotten. Just leave it"? No. The only reason John Swinney didn't say the same is nobody put a microphone in John Swinney's face in 2019 to ask his opinion on Ruth Davidson, because I'll bet my bottom dollar John Swinney would have said the exact same. Now, Rona Mackay, who was an SNP MP, said in 2020, this is when the figures came out for, I think it was a December election, 2019. Anyway, so the figures came out early 2020 because Ruth Davidson put in her paperwork to say I get paid this money. So Rona Mackay, who was an SNP MSP at the time, said serving politicians who appear on election night broadcasts do so to represent their party, not to pick up a paycheck. When somebody stick a microphone in Rona Mackay and Angus Robertson's faces and say, "Can you remember this? What have you got to say about our Nicola?" Right? That would be fun. We unfortunately can't turn the clock back and ask John Swinney what he really thought when Ruth Davidson was the person on receiving quite a substantial, and I think £7,500, great for a night's work. Sturgeon got nearly 3 times that, over 3 times that. So I'd love somebody to find Rona Mackay, find Angus Robertson, and say, "Hiya, what do you think of Nicola Sturgeon? Should she be sacked, and should she be handing her money back?" Because that's exactly what you said when it was somebody else doing it. And the SNP are just fantastic at this. You know what I mean? When people do stuff bad that they don't have an SNP rosette on, they go nuts, right? And it's all bane for blood. Then it's Michael Matheson that does it, and Michael's a really good guy. You need to understand, Michael's a nice guy, right? Michael stole £11,000 at the public purse and only paid it back because he got caught after trying to blame his Waynes, right? Waynes, under a bus. That was the single biggest driver in me starting to do these political videos. If you look back in my timeline, it was the first political video I ever done. So thank you very much, Mr. Matheson. You turned it into this for me. Right? If Michael Matheson doesn't do that and throw his kids under the bus, and it wasn't the fact that he took the money in the first place, right? I was like, they all do that, right? It was what happened after it, the lies, the attempted cover-up, the blaming of the kids, and then flinging them right under a bus, right? That's what drove me to start these videos. And 300 or 400 videos later, I'm still moaning about politics. So thanks very much, Mr. Matheson. Yeah, absolute crackpot. And it's just brilliant, the hypocrisy of the SNP. And there's just so many times it comes about. So what the SNP should maybe do is, right, see when somebody does something that they don't like, shut up, right? Because every time you make a song and dance about it, it comes back to bite you, because one of your mob ends up doing the exact same. Only, in this instance, 3 times worse. So please, 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 see if there's any journalists watch my videos, right, and any of you have got access to these people, please do me a big favour. Go and find Angus Robertson. Go and find this Rona Mackay. And see what you think. Should we be handing them back the money, and should we be sacking them, right? Because Nicola Sturgeon's never in Holyrood. Same with that Humza. Humza Yousaf is my MSP. I'm in his constituency. He lives an hour's drive away, 70 miles away, in Broughty Ferry, right? He should be going to Holyrood and talking on my behalf, and everybody, the 80,000 people in his constituency just like me. But one, he never goes, and 2, when he talks about anything, it's either got to be Gaza, Islamophobia, or give me money to UNRWA, right? I couldn't tell you the last time. It's kind of, you're a backbench MP now, mate. So your job is to look after me and everybody else around about here in the same set of postcodes. That's your job, right? So, same with Nicola Sturgeon. She's got constituents. She doesn't go to her work. The only time she goes to her work is when Matheson needs a vote to bail him out. There's a vote of no confidence, or we're talking about wages, right? Nicola's there, right? Front and centre. Hiya, I'm dead important. I'm more important than all you people, because I don't even need to come here when you're talking about shite things that are really mundane, And Hums has gone the same way. They're never there. But they forget their place, because I'm putting myself up for election in Holyrood in 2026. And if I get the job and I get voted in by enough people, but believe in me and vote for me, I've already decided I'm getting a sticker printed that I'll put in the sun visor of my car and another one inside whatever, a bag or a briefcase or whatever I'm going to take to my work, right? And the same sticker on those two places will say, remember, you are serving the people. As if I'll forget, but just as a gentle wee reminder, so every day in life that I go to Holyrood, I'll be remembering myself. Nobody will need to tell me, okay? These people are not serving you as a constituent. They are serving nothing other than their party, because they only turn up when their party needs a vote, right? Matheson needs a bailout vote, or there's a vote of no confidence shooting about, so we kind of better go to work because we might need a wee vote or two just to push it over, right? They're cranks. They're stealing £71,000 of your money, because that's what they get paid. They actually get paid more because they've got pensions and stuff that they pay because they've been First Ministers, right? So they get extra money. But for being your constituency MSP, £71,000. If I was your constituency MSP and I was getting paid £71,000, I would be there every day, because there's committees you can be in. Now, you don't need to actually, this is a kicker, right? I only found this out a couple of weeks ago when, believe it or not, I was talking to an ex-SNP cabinet minister, right? Had a wee cup of coffee, lovely guy, right? And he was saying, you want to go to Holyrood, Craig? Aye. Do you know something, Craig? See, when you go there, do you know that you have the God-given right to walk into every committee meeting in there, whether you're on the board or not, right? Because we put members onto these committees, and ask questions. It's like, what? It's your God-given right as an MSP to walk into any committee meeting in that building and ask questions. And I thought, I'll never leave the place. I will be right in about it. I will be there holding people to, if I'm lucky enough to get voted in, holding people to account every day I can. Unless I need to be sitting my constituents, if it was like a constituency meeting day and I can't get there because I need to, deal with people in my constituency, I'll be at Holyrood. And if there's nothing going on in the chamber, I'll be wondering about the halls like that. What wee committee meetings are going on today? Oh, there's one, what we're talking about. Oh, we're talking about transgender people in schools. Right, I'll have a bit of that. Excuse me, what? You're mental, right? Yous are sitting here discussing whether we allow kids without their parents' knowledge to change their gender at school. Right, no, we're not having a bit of that, right? That's what I'd be doing. They do the complete opposite. They never go, because they think they're better than the rest of the people trying to do. There are people up there, I believe, across many parties, try to do an honest day's work for the people of Scotland, and there's plenty that don't. And if I get in that building, I'll help identify all those who don't. Trust me, because I'll still be doing my 10-minute moans daily, and I'll still be showing them up. But from the inside, you won't like it. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please hit the subscribe and notifications bell. Put your comments below on anything we've discussed in this video. I'd love to hear what you think about it. But most importantly of all, as I always say, unless you are the SNP, Nicola Sturgeon, Hamza Youssef, John Swinney, or any of the remaining cult members, take you out of that, by the way. He's doing some no bad things now, right? So take B. Fergus out the now for a minute, right? But see the rest of them. No you, but
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.